What's up, everybody? It's Magic with RacingNews.com, back for another edition of Dr. Miranda Previews. With me, as always, is my co-host, Dr. Miranda. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Excuse the way that I look today. I just ran out of the shower. Pregnancy is very hectic. I never realized it till now. I'm like 3 months away from giving birth. And then they're still working on my basement downstairs, so I have to be upstairs in the future nursery. So hopefully all goes well during this, but I'm ready to talk about these Kentucky Oaks horses maybe in the future.
Yeah, not only are we looking at a race that it's the very first Kentucky Oaks prep race of the year. It's the Grade 3 $300,000 Pocahontas Stakes at Churchill Downs. It's also a Breeders' Cup winning year in for the Juvenile Fillies. So plenty on the line here, Dr. Miranda. Take us through the field. Let us know. 11 horses. You really could go anywhere in this spot. Seems pretty wide open to me.
Yep, so we're officially kicking off the 2022 Kentucky Oaks Trail with the first race with points. When we get to these 2-year-olds, it's always a toss-up because a lot of them haven't really came into their own yet. I mean, they're still babies. Some of these horses still may be green. Some of these haven't tried this kind of surface before, haven't ran this distance, or even gone around 2 turns. So from a betting standpoint, it's very difficult to handicap these races, but it may be the best price you're ever going to get on one of these fillies if you have a strong opinion. So the first horse is Code for Success with Victoria Oliver and Rafael Bejarano. This horse won its first and only time out at Ellis Park, going 6 furlongs in the maiden special weight. She was on the inside, which isn't always the best spot for these races, but she came from 5 lengths back and won by a length. She has been training at Keeneland while Churchill has been closed, and she's been doing pretty consistently for the last month or so. This horse is by Honor Code, who has been decent, firing off at 13% on dirt route, but Victoria Oliver has seemed to have some bad luck with stake races this year, so I'm just not really sure how well this filly will take to this race. The second horse is Goddess of Fire with Pletcher as a trainer. She has only raced 1 time at 6.5 furlongs a few weeks ago at Saratoga, but won the maiden 100,000 special weight. She ships in from New York, where the track plays a little different because it's constantly raining at Saratoga, to the very dry Kentucky dirt this weekend. It's like been in the 90s all week. She ran a 67 by her first time out. I just don't know if this horse is going to want 2 turns, being by Mineshaft, who is historically, the babies are best at 7 furlongs. And then we're going to go to the number 3, Mama Reno with Kenny Mcphee. This horse has been on the turf twice at Ellis Park, breaking her maiden July in a maiden special weight. I do like the fact that she's ran a mile and 1.16 up to this point, so I don't think the distance is going to be an issue as much as a surface change. When looking at her workouts, they look just okay and nothing really is popping out to me. But I will say that I love Brian Hernandez Jr. at Churchill Downs. He always seems to give these horses the best shot. So from that angle, she looks a little intriguing to me. And then the number 4 is On the 1 and 2s with Ricardo and Norm Cassie. This horse broke her maiden in May at Churchill Downs, then went on to the Debutante Stakes at Churchill and got beat by a length. Then they put her in a G2 in the Adirondack Stakes at Saratoga, and she didn't really show up. But the horse that finished right behind her in the Debutante Stakes actually won that G2 race. So on the notes, it says that she had a bobble start, which is very possible, being at a new track with a new jockey. So the horse has the class to be here, but does she have the distance? Then we're going to go on to the number 5, Majestic Diora with Brennan Walsh. She broke her maiden at 5.5 furlongs at Indiana Grand and won by an impressive almost 6 lengths, just handwriting her out. So she clearly had a little bit more to go that day, and she just never really was asked. It was a large field of 10 horses, just like it's going to be like on Saturday. So I think my biggest concern with her is, just like with every other of these fillies, is going to be the distance. The number 6 is Maxine Machine with none other than Brad Cox and Florent Giroux. She won at a mile on the turf at Ellis Park last month. But like I said earlier, these horses that are switching from turf to dirt kind of make me question. Maybe he started her on turf just so she could run a longer race in her debut to prepare her for this exact spot. I mean, Brad Cox clearly knows what he's doing when he's training these 2-year-old fillies. She is by Pioneer of the Nile. So there is dirt pedigree there. The number 7 is Niships with Tom Amos. She won her debut at Ellis Park, and then he shipped her up to Saratoga for an ungraded stakes, and she finished 3rd. Both were at 5.5 furlongs. So for out of the 2 races, she doesn't really seem to have a lot of early speed or a lot of late speed. So there's just not a whole lot that I like with this filly. The number 8 is Miss Chamita, who has the most races under her belt. It took her 4 times at 4 different tracks to break her maiden. She finally did at Indiana Grand in a 34,000 maiden special weight. So maybe she liked it, the added distance. She liked the dirt. She was beat on the turf by Mama Rena in July at Ellis Park. Maybe they found her sweet spot, and that's why they're put her in the spot hoping for a win. And the number 9 is Hidden Connection with Brett Calhoun. This horse has the best buyer in the field after winning a maiden special weight at Colonial Downs last month. She definitely has the speed and will be pressing the pace, but once again, distance is an issue. She's been working out fantastic, and she has some Curlin pedigree down the line, and you saw how well the Curlins did last year with Malafat and Clairiere. Now, the number 10 is Les Miu with Norm Cassie's dad, Mark Cassie. This horse has 2 seconds and 1 first. She won at Saratoga last month running 7 furlongs. The added distance may have helped her, but the pace in that race was a little bit slower. And I really don't think that this race is going to be that slow because there's a lot of early speed, and these 2-year-olds are going to be running right out of the gate. And lastly is the number 11, Joyrunner. I'm not really familiar with the trainer Laura Wohlers, but she has only raced 12 times in 2021 and has won 4 of those. So she's at 33% for the year, which isn't terrible. Not to mention this horse is by Gunrunner, who is just firing away lately. His crop is at 26% for a 2-year-old, and that's doing pretty dang well. His horse is 2 for 2 at Indiana Grand, winning a maiden in an allowance race. The last race, Indiana Grand, she won by 8 lengths. I think that's saying a lot, and she gets to keep the same jockey, which a lot of these horses don't get to keep their same jockey. So with my top pick, I'm going to go all the way out to the outside with the number 11, Joyrunner. I just can't look past how well Gunrunner's been doing, and not to mention how well this horse ran last time out. It's a step up in class, but I think she's going to be able to handle it. Underneath an exacta box, I'm adding in the number 4, 1 on the 1 and 2s because of the class of horse. I'm also going to throw in the Kitty Mcphee horse, number 3, Mamarina. So a 3, 4, 11 box. In a try box, we're going to go with the speed horse, so 3, 4, 9, 11. And in the superfecta, you got to add in the Brad Cox horse. So we got to go 3, 4, 6, 9, and 11.
Listen, Gunrunner has been absolutely red hot all year long with his freshman crop here. I don't see anything changing. It looks like Dr. Miranda doesn't either. Dr. Miranda, along with this, we also have the Iroquois Stakes. One race after this, which is the Breeders' Cup winning for the Juvenile, and the first Kentucky Derby prep. So lots of fun action at Churchill Downs this weekend. I'm sure you'll be tweeting about it. Let the folks know how they can follow you for all your insight.
At Miranda Bungie.
Head over to racenews.com. We have full previews and race analysis for every single Breeders' Cup prep race this weekend. We'll see you next time. Until then, good luck.